Let me hear you say, "Yer." It's your boy Silencer with a silent treatment. A little quick one for y'all because we got some breaking news, breaking news that just got released on Twitter just maybe an hour or two ago. Mark Rubin, the leader, the head guy for Xdefiant, has announced that Xdefiant as of June 2025 is shutting down. And it's shutting down for good. In a tweet that he put out today, he said, "I am unfortunately here to announce that Xdefiant will be shutting down. Starting today, December 3rd, 2024, new downloads and player registrations will no longer be available. We will still release our Season 3 content in the near future, exact date to be determined, and the servers will remain active until June 3rd, 2025. For those who purchased the Ultimate Founders Pack, you'll receive a full refund. Players who made any purchases within the last 30 days will also be fully refunded. Those refunds should happen automatically within 8 weeks of today, and you can find more details on our official website, Xdefiant.com. So we can go through a whole litany of reasons why Xdefiant didn't make it, why Xdefiant couldn't find its footing, why Xdefiant was just a complete failure. And I don't really want to dig too deep into the rabbit hole that is Twitter about why Xdefiant didn't work, but I was on record saying about a year ago, before it even came out, Xdefiant wouldn't last a whole year. I knew it wouldn't, and there's a reasons why for me it would. I'm normally a Call of Duty Warzone player, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest Warzone player out there. I'm pretty competent. I'm pretty good at the game, but Xdefiant was just missing a lot of things that the players wanted, but then it had a lot of things the players asked for. Mark Rubin, for all due respect, was so transparent that he gave the community hope to think that, oh, we finally have somebody that will tell us, that will talk to us, that will be there when we have questions or when we have suggestions. Mark Rubin was there, but Xdefiant just wasn't touching that nerve. It just wasn't hitting the vein. But in this climate where it's more about battle royales and everything like that, anything that resembles an arena shooter, anything that would resemble like a multiplayer, but you don't add a lot of things, it's not gonna make it. The content has to be there. It has to constantly be there. Now, playing devil's advocate, for me, Ubisoft wasn't putting that much effort into it. Xdefiant was a project in my brain. This is just how my brain thinks. Xdefiant was a project. Xdefiant wasn't given the resources that Call of Duty has. It's not given the resources that Fortnite has. We all know Ubisoft has Destiny and Rainbow Six Siege. We all know that. So to think, anybody that's out there to think that, and this is not me defending it, Xdefiant turned out to not be that great of a game. And while it was cool for the first couple months, maybe a month and some change, maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months, at some point it got stale. Anything at this point in any game life cycle that's not like, if you're trying to make an FPS game, at this point you need a BR. You need something else other than multiplayer ranked. Call of Duty has done everything that it can to keep Warzone and MP together, but MP on its own, with CDL, with everything else that is linked to multiplayer, keeps people invested in multiplayer. There's no way that their multiplayer can fail. It's been around for so long, and the hardcore audience is always going to keep their multiplayer around. Xdefiant was a baby. It's in its infancy. And they weren't given the type of resources to keep pumping out everything that multiplayer and other games probably could. So at the end of the day, if you make a game and you can't keep the content fresh, you can't, and then you have to fix a bunch of things, because make no mistake about it, it didn't come out perfect. It had its own issues, and definitely when their ranked came out, the cheaters were there. But when it comes right down to it, Xdefiant was not that good of a game to hold people. Now, make no mistake, the players asked for things and they got it. You wanted a game with no SBMM, Xdefiant gave it to you. You wanted a game with fast-paced movement and fast gunplay, you got it. You wanted a game that had basically no aim assist, you got it. The game was about gun skill, but then they started walking things back. They started nerfing some stuff. They did fix the weapon leveling system, because to me, getting the gun to gold was absolute cringe. That was horrible. To go up that many levels just to get a skin for a gun, it was terrible. But some people liked it, but then a majority of the people did not. The game did not hold or retain its players. So at the end of the day, do I blame Xdefiant and the guys over there who created the game, the devs or anything like that? Do I blame them? I don't blame them 100%. I don't want to blame them 100%, because the game itself is a good idea. But we live in a climate now where battle royales are still running things. Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, they're top dogs right now. And you got Battlefield coming out with their own VR soon. Make no mistake about it, you can create an FPS shooter, an arena shooter game in this climate, but it doesn't seem like there's any place for it now, unless you have a battle royale with it. Now, to anybody that liked Xdefiant, I'm sorry. I mean, I looked on Twitch today, but there's only like 500 some viewers for it. The game is essentially dead. And it sucks for people who wanted to have Call of Duty have competition and try to make something happen to where Call of Duty had to dig in the back of their brains to figure out a way to compete. But I got news for all of Call of Duty players. Call of Duty and Call of Duty Warzone has competition. It always had competition. It's always been Fortnite. Fortnite has been the competition from the beginning. There's a reason why Warzone was created. Whether it had been a one-off, they didn't think it was going to be this big, but it's not that they didn't have anybody to compete against. Call of Duty always had Fortnite to compete against. And at the end of the day, it's always going to be Fortnite. Fortnite's running shit right now. Fortnite is always going to be running shit. And until Call of Duty can keep up with them, Call of Duty has competition. Xdefiant was never going to be competition. Even when everybody called it the COD killer, which I thought was ridiculous at the time. And at this point, whoever called it the COD killer, I don't want you to hide from this. Don't hide. Come back up, raise up. Let me see you stand up. Take responsibility for, and I don't even want to say take responsibility. You wanted a competitive rival for Call of Duty so Call of Duty could step their game up. But Call of Duty never had to step their game up. Xdefiant had to step their game up. They came out flat in the beginning. After they came out hot, they had a window and they lost it. But even when that window was there, and that window was there when Modern Warfare 2 was out, that was it. But I don't even think that would have made a difference. That would have never made a difference. Call of Duty would still crush Xdefiant. And even without influence from Call of Duty, Xdefiant would have not succeeded. And that's just the silent truth, for real. Like I can't put it any other way. There's no other way for me to put it. At the end of the day, Xdefiant, while it was okay in the beginning, they didn't do enough to keep people invested in their game. You wanted no SBMM, you got it. You wanted fast-paced movement, you got it. You wanted no aim assist, you got no aim assist in the game. And yet, today we're still talking about aim assist in Warzone, complaining about it, but you had a game that didn't have aim assist in it. But in my opinion, the game wasn't good. The game did not keep you. There wasn't enough content. The cheating problem in the game was horrible. We complain about Ricochet, but I was told before Xdefiant even came out from a Ubisoft player that the cheating problem in Rainbow Six Siege is crazy. So it's one of those things where you got to put yourself in a position to look at things clearly. I saw clearly a year ago that Xdefiant was not going to succeed. And that, my friends, is the silent treatment. Until next time, love yourself and love the people that love you. All right? I'll catch y'all in the next one. Deuces.
You underestimate